Trees help keep our air clean, release oxygen, and cool the environment. In many ways, trees take care of us. But who is helping to take care of the trees?
An arborist is a tree specialist, somebody hopefully who is educated, trained, and has experience in the care of trees, understanding the anatomy and physiology, how they grow, understanding identification, how trees interact in the soil, what kind of water needs they have.
In the Dr. Seuss movie, The Lorax, it is said, "I speak for the trees have no tongues." In a way, arborists speak for their needs, helping to keep these vital community resources healthy.
We often take trees for granted, and there's basic parts of a tree. We have leaves, we have roots, and we have stems. You need to understand basics. And leaves collect the carbon dioxide and produce the oxygen. And in that process called photosynthesis, they produce food for themselves to grow. So maintaining a healthy canopy of leaves is critical for the tree to maintain adequate fuel to function. And while it's doing that, it's also providing the benefits of shade and cooling the atmosphere and cleaning the air. The roots absorb water and minerals, and also they provide a benefit where they reduce erosion. And if you need to understand that trees need roots to absorb the water, and if you cut a lot of roots or don't have a healthy root system, you're likely to have a decline in the tree. And then of course the stems are all the woody parts that are between the roots and the leaves, and they contain the transport system for food and water, water moving up from the roots and food moving down from the leaves back down to the roots.
Living in Santa Barbara, it's pretty difficult not to notice our diverse urban forest, from native oaks and sycamores to various species of palm trees and so much more. There are actually over 450 different species of trees here in our city. Not only are the different varieties of trees beautiful, but they also serve a special preventative purpose that benefits us all.
If you just had one species of tree or a couple of species of trees, if there's a pest or a disease infestation, you can wipe out an entire community, you can wipe out your entire urban forest. Having diversity provides a lot of different species that if one species becomes infected or infested with pests and declines, you have many other trees to sustain the urban forest, and that's critical. We call that diversity versus monoculture.
Another part of the urban forest is made up of street trees and park trees. Our streets, such as State Street as an example, are lined with many beautiful trees that add to the ambiance of our community, but need care and upkeep as well.
We have over 25,000 street trees in the city of Santa Barbara and probably another 10,000 in parks. But the city really does a great job in working to manage the urban forest, the public trees.
They say location is everything, and that applies to trees as well. Choosing the right location for a tree when it's planted is vital to its long-term health and viability.
It's important to know, is it evergreen or deciduous? Does it lose its leaves in the winter, or does it maintain its leaves year-round? What size does it get ultimately? You need to know, does it drop a lot of debris in a place where maybe that is not welcome? Are the roots invasive? So understanding the tree's inherent characteristics is critical, and knowing how it will survive in our climate is critical.
We live in a place that goes through severe drought cycles. In fact, our most recent 7-year drought is considered the drought of record for our area. It is our responsibility to take that into consideration in relation to how we take care of our trees. It is crucial to maintain trees throughout periods of low rainfall. By tending to their needs, we can help combat the negative effects of prolonged droughts.
We've been through 2 major droughts in the last 20 years, and droughts really took a toll on trees. One of the issues is, some of the problem that we have with drought is that when trees don't absorb enough water, they don't adequately photosynthesize, and as a result, they don't produce enough food to sustain them or have enough fuel to protect them from infestation of pests and infection of disease. Irrigation is probably one of the most misunderstood concepts in any plant maintenance. And if people would understand a little more about the soil, a little more about the roots, a little bit more about how much water they're putting out, how water moves through the soil, they could really deal with it by putting out the water in the appropriate place at the appropriate time and the appropriate amount, and be able to save as well as keep their trees in decent shape. I think too often people are scared to use water, and they want to save $50 a month or whatever it may be to conserve water. And what happens is they may sacrifice a tree that's worth $10,000, $20,000 for a small amount of conservation. And although I believe in conservation, I do think that you have to figure out a way to give the tree what it needs, because it really adds value to our landscape and our community and to our planet.
It is up to us to care for our trees, for they are crucial to the world in which we live and are one of the major reasons that makes Santa Barbara known all over the world for its beauty. By understanding the needs of trees to maintain them, we will not only help the trees, but help ourselves. For it is the true nature of things, if we rightly consider, every green tree is far more glorious than if it were made of gold and silver.
I just want to take this moment to recognize a great arborist who recently passed away. Peter Wynn owned a company called West Tree. Unfortunately, we lost a great man. I've known him for probably over 40 years, and it's really sad that he's gone. But this segment here that I'm doing with you today is dedicated to him.